Good evening, I'm Ian Hannamansing. Tonight, with a fourth wave emerging, we're going to have a federal election. What's at stake, what pandemic campaigning might look like, and can we do it all safely?
I just think there's a disconnect with where we're at in terms of our headspace right now.
The Taliban takes Kandahar and surges towards the capital.
They can't leave their houses because the fighting is that intense.
Civilians trapped, hope fading, the new effort from Western governments to get people out. Battling a monstrous fire.
I will take as many resources as I can get.
A close-up look at the fight to contain the White Rock Lake fire. COVID cases are climbing, and so is anxiety about back to school.
She's going to be entering a classroom where the entirety of her peer group is unvaccinated, so we're very nervous.
Our doctor answers your questions about back to school safety. This is The National. Are you ready for an election? After weeks of speculation, the official campaign is about to begin, and it will last 5 weeks. Sources telling CBC News voting day will be Monday, September 20th, and that the Prime Minister will visit the Governor General this Sunday to dissolve Parliament. A fourth wave of this pandemic adds an extra element of uncertainty to this summer campaign. And as Rafi Boudjikanian shows us, the timing is already drawing criticism.
Today's announcement.
Make this announcement today.
I'm really excited to announce that
with campaign-style announcements coming from Liberal cabinet ministers and the political opposition, everyone's been getting FaceTime, even if some say they'd rather not.
Now is not the time for an election. Now is the time to make sure we're ready for the risks of a fourth wave.
Today, the NDP released a so-far uncosted platform, promising universal pharma and dental care and higher taxes for the wealthy.
We know that people are worried about the cost of this pandemic. They're worried about the cost of the recovery. We are the only party stating clearly and unequivocally the burden shouldn't fall on you and your families.
That, as Jagmeet Singh revealed on Twitter, his family is growing. As word spread today about the timing of this election, so did the criticism, and not just from political opponents.
I just think there's a disconnect with where we're at in terms of our headspace right now. We're trying to focus on saving lives.
Canada's chief public health officer says voting can be done safely.
Whether it's the social distancing and mask wearing and all of those measures that everyone's pretty used to by now.
Though mail-in ballots could also impact how voters make their choices.
What is it going to mean if you're locking in your vote early and there's a leader who makes a massive gaffe? Well, it's too late for you to change your vote.
But across the country, for now, people are just digesting the vote is happening at all.
I am surprised to hear that it's happening so early.
There's never a right time, but we're going to vote, we're going to vote.
So far, polls have the Liberals ahead of everyone else, but it will take a little over 5 weeks before it's clear whether calling this pandemic election will pay off for Trudeau with the majority win he wants. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Ottawa.
Let's bring in our chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barton. And Rosie, this is a gamble for the Liberals.
Yeah, for sure, Ian. I mean, any election is, but this seems to be a gamble the Prime Minister is ready to take. There's a few reasons why. First, and maybe most importantly, politically, the public opinion polls. They look pretty good for the Liberals, at least where they are right now. There's a sense also inside the party that things aren't necessarily going to get better in terms of the numbers, so the party should seize this window of opportunity to at least attempt to form a majority government. There's also a real desire for a renewed mandate post-pandemic. We are coming up on 2 years of this government, which is about the normal life cycle for a minority government. Listen, the vaccination rate in the country is high. It's going up. The fourth wave, as we know, may well be happening, but it's mostly affecting unvaccinated Canadians at this stage. That's a risk no one can predict, so that's part of the gamble here. How is this going to unfold, and will there be political consequences to choosing to do this now?
So in terms of all of those conditions, how are the parties preparing for this campaign?
They all have contingency plans here. They all have medical people advising them on how to do this safely for their teams, themselves, reporters who will be traveling with them. They will be on chartered planes. They will be going across the country, and they're going to have to follow public health advice dependent on the region they're in. They've also all got these elaborate virtual setups in case they suddenly can't travel, can't get to a region because of an outbreak. Remember, there have been 5 provincial elections during this pandemic. There's one right now in Nova Scotia, mostly without incident, but there's never been a national election during a pandemic, and that will be unprecedented and will certainly be a test.
Well, we look forward to seeing a lot more of you in the next few days, including at issue on Sunday. Thanks, Rosemary.
Thanks, Ian.
The Pentagon says it's sending 3,000 troops to Afghanistan, not to fight the Taliban, but to help thousands of U.S. embassy staff escape a country that is falling to extremists. A Canadian defense source tells CBC News that special forces are being deployed to pull staff out of Canada's embassy. Just hours ago, the Taliban seized control of Kandahar city, the country's second biggest and a hub for Canada's 9-year combat mission. The Taliban says it's also taken 3 regional airports, cutting supply lines to government troops, and they're closing in on Kabul. The captured city of Ghazni is just 150 kilometers from the capital. Here's Carolyn Dunn with the grim picture.
In Herat, insurgents show off the spoils of their campaign. Vehicles and weapons, they say, left for them when government forces fled amidst heavy casualties. And after desperate fighting in Kandahar city, another capital falls under Taliban control.
Warnings earlier.
University lecturer and writer Obaidullah Bahir says civilians are trapped.
Kandahar, people I know were stuck in the center of the city. They can't leave their houses because the fighting is that intense.
Every few hours, it seems, the Taliban take over a new government building, like this police station in Ghazni, each victory giving them a clearer, more likely path to the Afghan capital, Kabul. Bahir is keenly aware of the danger moving his way.
If the Taliban enter Kabul, they will have the luxury of walking up to anyone's home and dragging them out and exercising their form of justice.
That scenario is already familiar to thousands of displaced people now living in makeshift camps in Kabul. Taliban militants evicted me at gunpoint, this woman says. They killed my sons and forced my daughters-in-law to marry them. Western-backed Afghan forces continue to fight back with airstrikes against insurgents, but they're losing this war on the ground at a breakneck speed. Somehow unprepared for a withdrawal of U.S. and other foreign troops that was a long time coming, and an international community refusing to change course.
There is no military solution in Afghanistan, and a negotiated political settlement through an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned process is the only way forward for lasting peace and stability in Afghanistan.
And Ian, there's no sign of a political settlement anywhere in the offing. With Taliban insurgents taking capital after capital, it's really hard to imagine what leverage the Afghan government has at this point.
And you're quite familiar with this region. You've worked in both Kandahar and Kabul. Where does this situation leave the people of Afghanistan?
Well, there are Taliban supporters, to be sure, who would welcome hardline Islamist rule. But I'm hearing others feel betrayed, first by the Afghan government for not being ready for this, but also by the international community for abandoning them.
Carolyn Dunn in Washington tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
For many in Canada, the fall of Kandahar is a bitter development because of the lives lost during Canada's mission and for the lost promise of progress in Afghanistan. Cameron McIntosh shows us how people are taking the news.
This unverified Twitter video appears to show the end. An Afghan National Army convoy retreating in Kandahar city.
It has happened, and it is sad because they are gonna move forward.
Each day, Afghan Canadians like Ariana Yeftali watch and lose hope.
Unfortunately, with this mass and chaos that's been happening, all those progress that has took place in Afghanistan are all diminished.
158 Canadian Armed Forces members died in Afghanistan, many in Kandahar province, where Canadian operations were largely focused. Among the fallen, Nicola Goddard in 2006, the first Canadian woman ever killed in combat.
When my sister-in-law was killed, there was an interpreter in the lab with her.
Andrew Rusk is her brother-in-law, working urgently now to get Canadians who help Canadian forces out.
We have an opportunity to do the right thing now in this emerging humanitarian crisis to make sure that the last 20 years weren't for naught.
Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan served in Afghanistan. He says it's a priority to airlift those that can prove they are in danger for helping Canada. As for whether this was all in vain,
there's a generation of Afghans who have benefited from the tremendous sacrifice that have been made by Canadians.
It's inevitable because we don't have the willpower to continue into it.
Former Colour Sergeant Yves Leduc Butterworth helped train Afghan soldiers.
I had a kind of a sense that, it was inevitable that we're going to leave and the Taliban will come back.
Nearly 20 years since September 11th, Yaftali says trust many Afghans placed in the world community is gone.
It's like 40 years. So, it's time that the world should, be serious.
As for that airlift of Afghans that helped Canada, tonight the federal government says only that it's ongoing, giving no details on numbers or timing because that could help the Taliban. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
This has been another sweltering day for millions of Canadians, several of the country's biggest cities under heat warnings for the next few days. The red areas tell the story: Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, all the way to Halifax. Most Canadians are dealing with heat and humidity right now with little relief at night. And for many, it isn't just uncomfortable, it is also dangerous. Here in British Columbia, it's the third heat wave of this summer. And as Karen Pauls explains, the province is relying on what it learned from the first two.
Ari Rakiat is cooking up some pad thai for the lunch rush.
I'm gonna burn in here,
Rakiat didn't work at all during the last heat waves.
It was so hot,
She's dreading the next few days.
But I have to.
You have to just make a living.
Yeah, make a living, which is very difficult.
Very difficult, too, for some of Vancouver's most vulnerable.
I wouldn't want to be stuck out in this heat wearing a fur coat.
I like the mist, but I hate the heat.
With temperatures rising and records falling, cooling stations have been set up in the city's downtown east side.
So we make sure that we're proactive, ensuring that we have water ready, that we have cooling stations ready, that we are moving vulnerable folks that need to be moved to other housing or different rooms, that they can have more ventilation as well.
About 600 British Columbians died of heat-related causes during June's extended heat wave. Paramedics struggled to keep up with ambulance calls, and emergency departments were overwhelmed.
We're kicking our response again into high gear.
The province says it's better prepared this time.
We have all hands on deck to get British Columbians through the heat.
There are other effects, too.
Just a ton of dead Californians here.
Marine biologists have been documenting the damage to marine plants and animals.
And that's what we saw at the end of June, was just massive die-offs of mussels and seaweeds.
He's worried about what even more heat will mean.
It's like getting a sunburn and then not letting that heal and getting another sunburn. We'll have to see if this one does more damage.
Back at the food truck, things are sizzling. Ari Rakiat is doing what it takes to keep cool, trying to survive yet another heat wave.
And you go, sir.
Karen Pauls, CBC News, Vancouver.
And the heat wave has serious implications for BC's wildfires. Today, Katie Nicholson got a closer look at what's regarded as the most volatile fire in the province.
Yeah, can you give me a shout when you're going to do some ignition?
With long, smoky fingers, the White Rock Lake fire reaches down a hillside toward an evacuated community below.
Reporting.
Further in, trees burn bright. While near Monty Lake, nothing but burnt black toothpicks where once there were trees. A testament to the speed of this fire when it swept through this area 1 week ago.
Down here, we call this our anchor.
Incident Commander Mark Healy walks through today's battle plan.
We have crews working up the entire west side here towards Monty Lake. Today, they will be doing the planned ignitions.
There has been widespread criticism from many in the region. Not enough was done to stop this fire when it started on July 13th. In fact, says the Deputy Minister, they responded within 30 minutes.
Seeing the resources fighting that fire as it began to grow and it expanded in all directions.
330 people are working from this camp 14 to 16-hour days in the grueling heat. only to come back and sleep on the ground and do it all over again.
So when I hear that not enough is being done, that hits me in the heart, right? And it not only hits me, it hits every firefighter out on the ground. That's the hardest thing to hear.
Firefighters may be giving their all, but the opposition says the province isn't.
Really relates to the government looking people in the eyes and saying that every available resource has been accessed and is being used, when that is clearly not happening.
And Commander Healy wouldn't say no to more help.
With the situation that's present in the province, the resource shortage that's out there nationwide and in North America, let alone around the world, is, we all know and understand what's out there.
And so from this pop-up command center, the fire crew does its best it can, urging homeowners to do their part, leave when they're told, and fireproof evacuated homes.
Combustible lawn furniture, even a doormat can take out a house if it's allowed to burn.
But with so much dry forest fuel in the path of the fire, the sad reality is one lawn chair might not make much of a difference.
So, Katie, you got the view from the air, and now you're back on the ground in Vernon, British Columbia. What do the next few days look like for that region?
Well, the incident commander talked about how the next 3 days are just going to intensify in terms of heat, and the atmosphere is going to be unstable. We're going to see more wind. In fact, I don't know if you can tell, but the wind is picking up again. This is not what they want to have to deal with these hot, dry conditions. And it's such a volatile situation. People that we had visited yesterday who were on alert this afternoon had to be evacuated from their communities. So, the next 3 days, really situation critical here for the White Rock Lake fire.
And it keeps changing. Katie, thank you very much. Over the past few weeks, COVID cases have been rising across the country. Today, British Columbia, Alberta, and Ontario all recorded more than 500 new cases. Canada's top doctor is officially calling it a fourth wave.
After several months of declining severity trends, we're now seeing early signs of increases in severe illnesses.
Dr. Theresa Tam did say that fortunately the number of deaths is still low, but as we look towards the fall, many health officials are warning things are likely to get worse. BC is now taking stronger action to curb its rise in cases, announcing a vaccine requirement for workers in long-term care and senior assisted living centers.
I recognize that this is a change from the direction that we announced earlier in the spring, in June, where we thought it would be sufficient to have additional measures such as testing in place.
Dr. Bonnie Henry says there are currently 8 outbreaks in long-term care homes, all stemming from unvaccinated people. Workers will have to be vaccinated by October the 12th or risk losing their jobs. Amid growing calls to implement similar vaccine mandates in other places, today several Ontario universities announced they're doing just that. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson has the details and the reaction.
Jamie Zhang is used to taking precautions so she can attend her in-person music classes at Western University. She's relieved the university is now taking action of its own.
I feel so much safer to be on campus. I know that COVID cases are so much lower in comparison to what it was before. And I think that vaccines play a huge role in that. So I think it's really great to be back on campus with that mandated.
Western is among a growing group of Ontario universities to have introduced a vaccine mandate. While some opted for a strict requirement with few exceptions, Western, like the University of Toronto, is offering an opt-out of sorts.
We ended up landing on this policy, which is a vaccination policy, which says you either get vaccinated and give proof that you're vaccinated, or we will put you into a testing program to allow you to continue to come to campus.
But some people think mandates shouldn't have any exceptions and should be adopted by more institutions.
Of the top 10 American universities, all 10 require mandatory vaccination. And so far, there's not a single university in Canada outside of Ontario that's willing to do so. It's pathetic.
For others, though, the mandates pose a moral and ethical dilemma.
I understand why we're moving towards mandatory vaccines, but I'm going to speak as an ethicist. It tears at the very roots of ethics in which the free and informed consent of the individual is pushed to one side. And that's very worrisome. and you know, hopefully it's temporary.
Vaccination mandates at university campuses is still an Ontario-only phenomenon so far. Today, British Columbia's Chief Medical Officer of Health said the province is looking into it and will have more to say next week. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
COVID is once again pushing hospitals in parts of the U.S. to the edge.
We're sad, we're scared, we're tired.
Next, the pleas for help from a healthcare system in crisis. And as more kids get sick in the U.S., should Canadian parents be concerned?
So we're very nervous.
The push to block a controversial new Alzheimer's drug in Canada and the Canadians who still want to take it.
I'm not afraid of dying, I'm afraid of having Alzheimer's.
And bringing Major League Baseball to a field of dreams.
If you build it, he will come.
A tribute to that classic with a Canadian connection. We're back in 2. Dramatic rescue scenes are playing out in parts of northern Turkey as flash floods sweep through the region. Entire families have been left stranded after heavy rains turned residential streets into raging rivers. Heavy damage could be seen across entire towns today, with bridges toppled and entire buildings collapsed. Officials say at least 17 people have been killed. A scorching heat wave is fueling wildfires across southern Italy. Firefighters are battling hundreds of fires in Sicily and Calabria. On Wednesday, Sicily reported temperatures of nearly 49 degrees Celsius. That is the hottest temperature ever recorded in Europe. Police in England have confirmed 6 people, including a suspected gunman, have been killed after a mass shooting in the city of Plymouth, that is southwest of London. Earlier, police said the shooting was not terror-related and only described it as a serious firearm incident. The motive remains unknown. New court documents show Britney Spears' father, James, is willing to step down as the conservator of his daughter's estate. That's a role he's had for more than 13 years. This is a significant victory for the 39-year-old pop star who's been in a year-long legal battle to remove her father from any say in her affairs. Also in the United States, a fourth wave of COVID is pushing many hospitals to the brink of collapse, especially in the South, where many students are already back in school as their parents often argue about masking. Chris Reyes shows us more.
I am frightened by what is coming. A dire warning from a hospital CEO in Texas, where hospitals are getting crushed again by a new wave of cases. At this hospital in Houston, 63% of ICU patients have COVID.
It is horrible.
In Mississippi, the governor has said the hospital system is on the verge of breakdown, with the Delta variant spreading quickly across the country.
And now, over 90% of counties in the United States are experiencing substantial or high transmission.
At the same time, heated arguments about masks for students in schools are still breaking out at rallies like this one in Georgia. President Biden came out yet again to shame the politicizing of safety measures.
These doctors are threatened. These nurses are threatened. You know, our healthcare workers are heroes.
In Alabama, where hospitals are also under intense pressure, the frustration is that a virus that has a vaccine is back with a vengeance.
We're angry. We're angry that it's back. We're sad. We're scared. We're tired.
One piece of good news: vaccine rates in the U.S. are starting to pick up again, averaging about 500,000 shots in arms per day. The FDA is also working with Pfizer and Moderna to allow boosters for vulnerable people. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
As those hospitals struggle under pressure in the U.S., many are also reporting a rise in children being infected.
We have more pediatric cases, more pediatric hospitalizations, more pediatric severe disease cases.
Next, what we know about how those kids are being affected. While on this side of the border, parents are also concerned.
How do I protect my 10-year-old who is yet to get vaccinated when he returns to school?
We'll get answers to some of your questions right after the break. Welcome back. With an increase in COVID infections in Canada and the United States, health officials are noticing troubling signs south of the border. More and more children who aren't yet eligible for vaccines are getting sick. As those kids prepare to head back to school, parents are wondering how they'll be protected. Our health reporter Vicadopia has the latest.
In just 1 week, pediatric COVID cases in the U.S. have doubled.
and more unvaccinated kids are ending up in the hospital.
Things are really bad in the southern and southeastern parts of the United States. We have more pediatric cases, more pediatric hospitalizations, more pediatric severe disease cases.
The U.S. surge is being driven by the Delta variant, a more contagious mutation of the coronavirus.
Particularly in some places in the United States with low vaccination rates in the adults and children who aren't able to be vaccinated, and stopping public health measures like wearing masks.
While children don't appear to be getting sicker from the Delta variant, there are exceptions.
Children who are very obese were also found to be more likely to get quite sick in the United States.
She has a disability.
Even with Canada's higher vaccination rates, parents of the most vulnerable children here are especially on edge.
It is very worrisome seeing those cases rise.
Unvaccinated children are only a small number of COVID cases in Canada, but the worry is the fall.
She's going to be entering a classroom where the entirety of her peer group is unvaccinated because they're too young, and with the virus circulating, looking for unvaccinated people. So we're very nervous.
To get the shot in Canada, kids have to either be at least 12 or turning 12 later this year, depending on the jurisdiction. Approval of vaccines for kids 11 and younger depends on clinical trial results, which could come next month. In the meantime, there are calls to bend the rules for kids almost 12 who don't yet qualify for the shot.
Right now, we're trying to keep kids in school. We're trying to prevent outbreaks. So the best thing is to vaccinate everyone born in 2009, or you say everyone in middle school and above, grade 7 and above, you get them vaccinated as soon as possible.
It's quite emotional. And
for the rest, it's a worrisome wait. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Toronto.
So lots of questions about children and COVID and back to school, and we have an expert here to provide some of the answers. Dr. Jacqueline Wong is a pediatric infectious disease specialist in Hamilton. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Ian.
Our first question is from Lila. Actually, she has two questions, and I'll ask the first part of it first. If the Delta variant is transmissible through vaccinated people, what happens to herd immunity now? And maybe you can start by giving us a brief reminder of what herd immunity would be.
Right, so herd immunity as an actual number is a bit hard to pinpoint because it depends on how transmissible the current virus or variant is. But the concept is, if you have herd immunity, if you have a new case of an infection introduced into that community, enough people are immune, either from vaccination or natural infection, such that you won't have large outbreaks anymore. So with this new variant being more transmissible and more people being infected, in theory, it would increase the number of people that have immunity through natural infection and helps you move towards your goal of herd immunity.
And presumably our understanding on COVID is changing all the time, but the second part of the question there is, what do we know now about how this Delta variant affects children?
Yes, and we're getting a lot of questions to this nature, working in the hospital for sure, and with all the surges that are happening around the world. So data is still coming out. We have some recent data from the UK, which is promising. So when they looked at this recent surge due to the Delta variant and look at their prior surge due to the Alpha variant, they're able to show that even though the absolute numbers of kids who are getting the infection and as a proportion, right, there will be an absolute increase in the number of kids who have more severe infection and hospitalization, but they're not seeing a very significant difference in terms of hospitalization rates or rate of rise in the hospitalization. So from that preliminary data that we have right now from one country, it seems that the Delta variant isn't causing more severe disease in kids. It's true, more kids are getting infected, and by default, more kids will have severe disease. But as a proportion, no, it does not seem like they are more severely affected.
And I don't know if the study addresses this, but of those kids in the UK who did get infected in greater numbers but didn't go to hospital, how sick did they get?
The data doesn't adequately capture that in terms of how many days of illness you mean, or in terms of the types of have, the data doesn't get captured very nicely there. But what we are hearing anecdotally through observational studies and other reports is that the symptomatology is very similar for those who have mild disease as it has been through the other surges that we've had.
All right, our next question is on video. It's from Jennifer in Alberta.
Hi there. I'm a very concerned parent here in Alberta. With no testing, contact tracing, quarantining of COVID positive cases, or masking now required in schools, and amidst a surge in the Delta variant, how do I protect my 10-year-old who is yet to get vaccinated when he returns to school?
So this is a question that is top of mind for many parents of young children across the country. And I would say that in your particular jurisdiction, even if they've removed the mandate for masks, if for your particular child's medical health reasons or the comfort of your family, if your preference is to have them wear a mask at school, there's nothing saying that they can't go to school with a mask on. In addition to masks, other practices like physical distancing, hand hygiene, those are still in place. There are other factors that are in place like the ventilation of the school, the ability to have some of the classes conducted outside, physical activities outside that help decrease the risk. And of course, things like if you're sick, staying at home and encouraging families to abide by those principles. All of those still help to mitigate the transmission among schools, even though some of these mandates might no longer be in place. And the other thing is, as the school year starts and progresses, public health governments, they're going to be keeping an eye on the patterns of number of cases and transmission and hospitalizations, and need to remain dynamic and flexible to reassess any decisions they're making now and seeing if those are still appropriate in the fall.
And Dr. Wong, we have time for one more question, which was submitted through our Facebook page from Sean. He asks, how far along is the research on the vaccine for children between the ages of 5 and 12?
Great question. So the trials are ongoing right now. We don't have any preliminary data yet. In addition to kind of figuring out from their blood work whether the vaccines are working, these trials are taking a little bit longer because they need to determine if the doses we've been using for older children and adults are appropriate for younger kids. And these trials were running at a time when the number of cases in various countries were going down. So it takes a longer period of time so we can see if kids who get the vaccine end up with the infection, and if they do, how sick they end up. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer.
You know, you mentioned, Dr. Wong, that our questions from our viewers kind of reflect what we're hearing in your practice, and it shows because the answers are terrific. Thank you very much for helping us out.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me again, Ian.
Doctors are urging Health Canada not to approve a controversial new drug to treat Alzheimer's.
My concern is whether the evidence is sufficient to show that this new drug really does what it's supposed to do.
Why the decision isn't so clear for some patients and their families. Next on The National. Welcome back. Health Canada is considering the merits of an Alzheimer's drug that was approved in the United States despite the objections of an expert panel. Now, those objections are being echoed by some doctors here. Health reporter Christine Birak looks at why.
It's the most common and most feared type of dementia or memory loss, and there's no cure.
I don't mind going into a home because I won't care. I won't have any memories left. I'll just be a vegetable. I don't want to get to that stage. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of having Alzheimer's.
At 82, Bob Murray has mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, an early stage of memory loss. Doctors have warned it may be a sign of more serious problems to come. To protect his brain, Murray says he's willing to take a new contentious drug.
My doctor said she'd give it to me in a flash.
But she can't. Aducanumab, sold as Aduhelm, is the first Alzheimer's drug approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration in 20 years. Health Canada is still reviewing it. But there's a growing list of studies questioning the clinical trial data from the drug company behind it, Biogen, and critical of aducanumab's dosing and how well the drug actually works.
Got new data on the tau.
Now, leading Canadian researchers say it should not be approved, at least not yet.
My concern is whether the evidence is sufficient to show that this new drug really does what it's supposed to do.
Dr. Howard Chertko is chair of cognitive neurology and innovation at Baycrest, a geriatric hospital in Toronto. In a consensus statement, he and several Alzheimer's experts say aducanumab does not meet the accepted criteria for clinical efficacy, safety, and risk-benefit.
We haven't seen all the evidence supporting it, but it appears that it doesn't make Alzheimer's stop or go away, doesn't improve people, it slows the decline by about a quarter.
Which means patients may deteriorate over 4 years instead of 3. To do that, Biogen says high doses of its drug can clear clumps of protein called amyloid plaques from the brain. Researchers believe they start building up to 20 years before the first signs of Alzheimer's. For decades, studies largely focused on removing those plaques and excluded other possible causes.
Most people with Alzheimer's disease have amyloid in their brain. There's been an amyloid hypothesis that Alzheimer's was due to amyloid. If we take away the amyloid, the disease would go away, get better, or at least stop. And this does not appear to be the case.
Jody Peters' wife, Joyce, was diagnosed with early Alzheimer's at 62.
We participated in the study. We didn't get any results back.
She got aducanumab in a trial. Together since they were teenagers, both had high hopes the drug would allow them to live out many more years together.
When you have that hope, and then when you have something like the FDA come along, it almost gives it credibility.
The infusions lasted 18 months, and there were repeated MRIs to monitor for side effects. Experts say up to a third of patients suffered brain swelling or bleeding from aducanumab. Joyce was not part of that group, but the drug didn't help.
Having gone through the exercise and seeing how it actually performed, I have no hope for it. So my hope was eliminated by the results I saw.
Peters now visits her every day in a care home. Dr. Saskia Sivananthan is with the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. She wants Biogen and other drug makers to continue their research.
It's been a desert when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia writ large, and people are desperate.
All right, let's start by walking. We're building healthier brains.
Dozens of Alzheimer's drugs are being tested worldwide, but studies show there are other ways to fight the disease rather than clearing amyloid plaques.
Take exercise, for example. If you follow healthy older adults over time, those who exercise alone have a 40% lower risk of developing dementia.
So every time you hear a sound, I would like you to raise your hand to let me know.
While the dementia link is unclear, brain scans also show that hearing loss may contribute to a faster rate of atrophy in the brain and lead to social isolation.
If you do address your hearing loss, then there's a good chance that you are addressing one of the risks for dementia.
You keep active. I go over to the young guy.
Bob Murray plays golf. He's social and now has a cochlear hearing implant.
Your garden.
His wife Leah doesn't feel aducanumab is worth the risk.
I'm much more cautious, and at this point in time, until Canada does more studies and trials, I would say no.
But Murray says he's seen the ravages of Alzheimer's in his family. If a drug can slow down any progression of his disease, he'll take it.
I'm not a super athlete. I'm not super at anything. But my brain is really very good. Sorry, I'm not boasting. I don't want to lose it.
Living for today, worried about tomorrow, and always hoping something will help keep his lifetime of memories safe. Christine Birak, CBC News, Seaforth, Ontario.
Next, a big shift in how Canadians can gamble on sports games. But first, Major League Baseball built it, and they came to a field of dreams.
I'm Jonathan Mopetzy. Tomorrow on CBC's Daily News podcast Front Burner, two hip-hop artists on rapper DaBaby's homophobic comments, Lil Nas X, and the lack of queer representation in their industry. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
He was at the movie site field playing catch, yes, with his father and his brother. It's a dream now completed for Eric Cooper.
This is a very special game for baseball fans. The New York Yankees taking on the Chicago White Sox tonight in the Field of Dreams game. It's happening in Iowa, right next to where the iconic movie was filmed. The price for nostalgia, resale tickets going for as much as $1,400 US.
If you build it, he will come.
Field of Dreams is widely considered one of the greatest sports movies of all time, about a farmer who builds a baseball diamond in his cornfield, attracting the ghosts of baseball legends. It's all based on a book written by Canadian author W.P. Kinsella. The rules around betting on sporting events in Canada will soon be relaxed. Under a new law, single-game betting will be legal. Magda Geberselassie with when and why.
When it comes to betting on sporting events, the Canadian government is ready to go all in.
Provinces and territories will be able to offer single event sport betting products like wagering on the Grey Cup, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, or the Super Bowl.
The new law will go into play August 27th. In most provinces, gamblers are required to place bets on at least 3 games at a time. It's called parlay betting, and it's to prevent match fixing. But Canadians are still betting on single games, spending about $14 billion a year through illegal and offshore operations.
We have a lot of sports books that have been accessing the Canadian market for well over a decade. So they're coming in, they're offering sports betting, and they're paying no tax. So the provinces don't collect any revenue.
People could also just cross the border to play, and casinos here want in on the action.
We do plan to have a significant investment at both of our properties, and we think that this is just going to be a wonderful amenity to add to our resort experience here that's been missing for a number of years.
Experts say keeping sports free of match fixing is still a priority. Today's technology just makes it easier to catch. Magda Geberselassie, CBC News, Toronto.
The moment is next on The National. Thousands of sandpipers are taking a well-deserved break in the Bay of Fundy, confusing and exciting tourists. We'll explain right after the break.
For years, Japan has had the highest life expectancy in the world.
Konnichiwa.
I'm pretty keen to unlock the secrets of eternal life.
81, and you're in the middle of the ocean diving. Absolutely nothing short of extraordinary.
I'm going to discover a Japan that's as surprising as it is magical.
This is going to be an extraordinary trip. Okay, let's go.
These sandpipers have flown to the Bay of Fundy from the Arctic, and they're just stopping by, but they are causing quite a stir. The New Brunswick visitors are in the midst of their 7,000-kilometer journey south in a giant cluster that's delighting tourists and wildlife lovers alike. And tonight, it's our moment.
I initially thought that was actually a pebble beach when I looked down, but the pebbles all started flying away. So clearly, I was incorrect, and they are actually birds.
So the sandpipers are we're a stopping point on their journey. They're having their young up in the Arctic. They fly down here to feed on our rich mud flats. And from there, then they're going to make a nonstop flight to South America. So here in this park specifically, they feed on the mud a bit, but they really kind of use our beach when the tide is high as just a resting place to just be calm, conserve energy, and wait for the buffet to open again.
It's amazing to see that many birds together at one time, sort of moving as a flock. And like Harold said, it's almost like the whole beach moves. It's really cool.
I could say this year, I'm excited to see more than we've been seeing the last few years, for sure. So that's super exciting. I keep looking back at them. I can't stop looking at them.
Ready for some fun facts about sandpipers? First of all, the collective noun, I said cluster. Well, here are some of the other collective nouns which are actually correct. A hill, a fling, a contradiction of sandpipers, a bind. I'm not quite sure why they have so many collective nouns for just one bird. 2 hours before high tide, best time to see it if you're in New Brunswick. And they double their weight in just a couple of days during their stay in New Brunswick, which is kind of what I do when I go home. Anyway, that is the National for August the 12th. Good night.